Well, hi once again, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of CueSports International, welcome to the 22nd U.S. Bar Table Championships, live from the Kamui Arena here at the Grand Sierra Resort in Reno. And we are about to play the 10-ball championship match. This is Ken for CSI, along with our signature sponsors of this event, OB, the official cue of the U.S. Bar Table Championships, and Kamui, the official tip of the USBTC. And racking the balls up right now is Jeff Ignacio, and he has survived the undefeated side. His opponent, Skyler Woodward, has to beat him twice. So this is a race to 7. If Jeff wins the first set, he's the champion. If Skyler wins the first set, we'll play one more and decide the champion. Since we've been in 9-ball this afternoon, I'm going to refresh everybody on the 10-ball rules as we get underway here in the first rack. So here we go. Okay, it's alternate break, rack your own. The 10 does not count on the break in any pocket. A push out is allowed on the shot immediately after the break. The 3-foul rule is in effect. It's cue ball fouls only, and this is call, ball, and pocket. You do not have to call obvious shots. You have to call things like banks and combinations. Now, if you were to miss the ball you're intending to make in a particular pocket and it goes in somewhere else, that means it's been illegally pocketed and your opponent has the option to shoot or make you shoot again. And the same would apply if you miss the ball you're playing and you knock something else in. Again, your opponent has the option to pass the shot back to you or to accept the table in position. This is a rematch of the hot seat from last night, in which Jeff squeaked it out hill after Skyler had a 6-5 lead and wound up scratching on the break on the hill. His cue ball got kicked in, and Jeff won that rack and won the final rack to take the hot seat. So he's going to have to jump over about a quarter of the 8-ball here in order to make the deuce. Nice shot. Beautiful control there. Jeff is from the Philippines. He made his debut at Derby City just a few weeks ago. And then again last weekend at the Marculis Memorial in Sacramento. He is a very, very respectful young man, a gentleman. Shows a lot of respect for the game and for his opponents, and he is a typical Filipino stud. He played earlier today here against Edgy Geronimo in the 9-ball, and he certainly was not on the top of his game in that 9-ball set. I have a feeling he just might have just not been able to bear down and keep his focus knowing what was coming up here. He is a very, very accomplished player. And I also think that it's only fitting that these two are matched up in the final after that great hot seat match they had last night. And then Skyler had to come back and win another set in order to get to this point, and he did that. Excuse me. There were 105 players in the 10-ball division. These are the two survivors. They're essentially playing for $1,800 because the winner is going to get $4,000 and the runner-up is going to get $2,200. So an additional $1,800 to the winner, $4K in their pocket. And from Skyler's standpoint, Mosconi Cup points. And he would be the leader in the clubhouse with his Mosconi Cup points. Or he will be either way because no American can finish higher than he in the 10-ball division. The top 32 finishers in each of the three divisions here will receive Mosconi Cup points. So we've already had 3 Americans in the top 6. Made the 6 ball. Wouldn't surprise me one bit to this to go cross corner. Looks like the 3-4 is going to be on. So it would be a question of can hold the cue ball somewhere in the vicinity of the 9 maybe to play the 2. If he doesn't bank it, I'll be surprised. Maybe he's going underneath the 4, but he wanted to bank it under the 3-4. Like he's going to have to jump to kick this. I'm not sure if he will try to kick, jump straight at it or jump kick into the long rail. I prefer the long rail to take the scratch possibility away. But he's so adept with this cue, he may be able to go right at it and try to drive it out of there and keep the cue ball right there. That's what he did. Is he going to get away with it or not? Don't think Skyler can make the 1 ball. Definitely can't. He's going to go airborne too. Good hit. Look where the 5 ball wound up. That's in a real ugly position. That's going to give somebody some problems. they didn't freeze him on the 4, so he's left Skyler the one-rail kick. And this is a very makeable ball, and he did call it. You saw him tap the pocket. This will be rail first, I'm sure. No, it's not going to go. He missed that pretty bad, unless that's what he was trying to do. I don't think so. Why wouldn't he try to pocket the ball? But once again, don't forget about that 5 ball. It's going to be tough. Good shot. You can see the right side of the cue ball is just a little bit hampered here by the 9. I think he's still going to be able to get enough right on it. Good speed, good shot. That's about as good as he could get on this ball. All right, rack 3, Jeff breaks. about where the cue ball is now would be good for the 5. And that's where it is. His full set of skills was on display in that rack. Superb cue ball control, excellent shot making, excellent decision making, and that's how he's played all week. Like I said earlier today, he just had a ragged match with Edgy in the 9-ball, and that was his first 9-ball match. And again, I think his mind was on what was going to happen this evening. I don't expect another subpar performance like that out of this man. So 2-1 it is after 3 racks. On serve, Skyler to break. This has all the earmarks of a hill-hill match. I think these guys are so evenly matched in ability, knowledge, skill, technique, everything. Wouldn't be a surprise at all to go hill-hill twice. Reach a little bit for this one. Maybe he can low right 2 rails out and play for the 3 in the side. I don't know if it's too thin to hold the cue ball that way, 2 rails. Or he's got to maybe try to come straight up and maybe hit the 9 right in the nose. Either way, it's tough. I like 2 rails though. Beautifully done. Good kill speed there. Perfect. Nice shot. Boy, this is going to play tough now. At least the cue ball's off the rail a 16th or more. If they were both on the cushion, this would be really super tough. I'd like to draw it in front of the side pocket where I'd have full access to the cue ball. And that's what he tried to do, and that was the smart play. This way you can get your cue tip right on the cue ball. This is a championship level out right here. Perfect cue ball. Look at this break. 7-10 wired. And once he makes the one and draws the cue ball back, or, well, I don't know if he's straight, but gets straighter in on the 2. The 2, 4, 5, 6 are all real close together. And then it's going to be the 7-10. Tell you, that was as perfect a rack as you could play. Every shot wound up with the cue ball in ball in hand position. Very, very impressive. And sure is fun to watch play at that level. Want to remind you that OB is the official cue of the U.S. Bar Table Championships, and Kamui is the official tip. And we are once again just so happy to maintain our long relationship with them, as well as our host and sponsor as well of the USBTC right here at the Grand Sierra Resort. And we appreciate not only their great hospitality, but this terrific venue that they provide for us. And we hope to be here for many, many years to come. Actually hit him a little bit too firm, and both of the second row balls went past the sides. And that's exactly what Jeff was hoping for, was an opportunity to win a rack on Skyler's break, and he sure got that. He's going to have to do a little bit of work here to get on the 2. It only will go in the same pocket as the 1 unless he chooses to play it cross side. I actually think he can slide between the 5-8 and go at the 3 ball with the cue ball. You see him pointing his cue on the line that he'd like to go. Probably go more to the 6 than the 3 because of the possibility of the side pocket. And he's done that with the precision that he's been known for. Oops. He's seeing if he can spin it. Looks like the 7 does have him partially blocked. He's going to have to twist it just a touch. Skyler took advantage of Jeff's position error on the 4-ball. And he desperately needed that type of an opportunity because Jeff was threatening to go 2 games up and breaking at 4-2. Now it's 3-3, and we're back on serve. I'd like to also recognize once again our 4 supporting sponsors here that also provide our outstanding equipment. Diamond Billiard Products, of course, giving us the 7-footer with 4.5-inch Pro Cut pockets. Simonis 860 Tour Blue, a Magic Ball Rack, and Cyclop pool balls. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you being part of our family. Watch cue ball. Interesting here what he's going to maybe attempt to do. I don't really see anything offensive. The cross side isn't on. The cross cornered won't go. Because he made 3 balls on the break, there's not a whole lot of places to hide the cue ball. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe banking the 3 up here behind the 8-5. But this is challenging right here to not sell out a shot. He's going to slice it right down the rail. And again, when the safe is tough and the shot is tough, you might as well go ahead and shoot, because you can't win with the safety, but you can win with the shot. Scratch. Boy. Anything but that. The 4 to the 5 is not easy. He'd probably like to play the 5 in the corner where he's going to play the 3 ball, but getting to the 5 from the 4 for that pocket is going to be tough, because the 9 is kind of in the line. And to play for the 5 in the side, you're kind of coming across the line of position from the 4. But either way, I think he would want this cue ball somewhere down on that short rail. He's got something else in mind. So let's see what it is. I still think he's going to try to play for the 5 in the pocket. He just played the 4. Now he's looking at the side, but it's going to have to be pretty pinpoint position right here to do that. Sure wishes he was a little bit more to his left, because it looks like he can't help but avoid the 8, so he's going to bank it and draw it back for the 6, because if he plays it in the side, it's much too difficult to get on the 6 ball. He's about 98% to make this, maybe 99. Maybe 100. Come off the cushion just a little bit. It's going to make it play just a touch easier than if it was right on the rail. Oop. Watch how fundamentally solid this guy is. No body movement whatsoever. Oops, again. That's 2 bad position errors here in the first half a dozen or so racks. Very, very uncharacteristic from this guy. Well, you got, I think, 2 things to do here. You go all out for the straight back, or you just bunt it straight into the short rail ahead of you and let him have the bank. And he's called it straight back to his right. Remember, it doesn't do him any good to hit it firm enough to have it go twice up and down, because it won't count. And if you can shoot like that, doesn't matter where the cue ball goes. Wow. I think Skyler was almost counting that one. But Jeff's done that all week, you know, on the occasion where he's made a position error, he's been able to recover for the most part. And Skyler's done the same thing. I think he needs to take 10% speed off to get those second row in the side. See if he does. 9 ball? No, he didn't look like he backed off the speed any. Push out. Well, the natural shot looks to be try to bank the 1 up behind the 2 and put the cue ball behind the 4. But there's a lot of gaps there if you don't get perfect. Could also bank it where he's standing, and I don't think that's better because there's less place to hide the cue ball. Not even sure he can get behind the 4 from here. It's just probably just enough to buy him another inning. This is an extremely crucial game at this stage of the match. We've seen this all week when you get to the about 6 or 7 games into the match and there's only a 1-game difference. It seems that's the pivotal game that usually turns the whole match in one direction. Last night during the hot seat match, and Scott Frost sat in with me, we were talking quite a bit about how important safety play is in 10 ball because of the call shot rule, where you can't just, you know, kick at something hard and hope something goes in. So there's a real big premium on quality safety play in 10 ball. Good save sometimes will actually turn into an offensive weapon for you because it'll bring you back to the table. And that's why you see the hesitation here, and as we have on a couple of innings. Calling a 7 ball. And that's because there's no place really to play safe. He wants to keep control. So we try to put more of a safe than the attempt at the combination there, and we certainly got a good result. This is a tough ball to hit. Even this way, a 6 is big. And if he misses it in this direction, he may catch it 3 rails coming out, or he could go right around it. But he's got to miss the 6. Too much speed. Big turnover there. This is an opportunity for Jeffrey to take a 2-game lead. And remember, this is only a race to 7 now. He's kind of straight here. He's going to have to power follow this. I think he's got just enough angle. You can see by this camera shot that he will be able to catch the long rail. Just a little bit of right, but he's really got to load up on the follow here. I don't think he can pound it across, and he likes this type of a shot. Just watch the side pocket. So impressed with how much Jeff gets out of the cue ball with what appears to be a relatively easy stroke. But that's the Filipino style too. But there's a distinct crispness to the hit when he hits the cue ball and then the cue ball hits the object ball. Beautifully done. And he inches another game closer to the championship. Now he's only 2 racks away from the trophy and the 4K that goes with it. But we're not going to count Skyler out until the last ball is dropped. That's for sure. We've seen a lot of funky things happen here in 10 ball in the last couple of days. But Jeff is performing now as he has throughout the week in the 10 ball division, and that's why he was the last man standing on the A side. So here we go with rack number 9, breaking to get on the hill. Cue ball. Look where that cue ball is. I'm curious about the 9 ball, whether it's in the jaw or it's outside the point where neither the 4 nor the 9 will go. I think the 9 will go. But the problem right now he's got is the 2 ball because of the tightness of the space to play shape. If he could get about where he is now with the cue ball for the deuce, that would work. Because he could draw it into the 8. The 8 would stop the cue ball, and then the 3's wide open. Evidently, he doesn't have much concern about the 4-9. Still a little tricky here. If he can miss the 10, he'll follow it. Because it looks like the tangent line is going to have him hit the top of the 10 ball if he draws the cue ball. I'm not sure he can hit the 8 if he draws it. So he used the 10 to help the cue ball. Did that rather nicely. He knew exactly what to do, and he did it. Well, you know, unless that's no problem down there, I'm surprised he waited this long to go inspect it and see what what he could not do. You know, he could always bank the 3 into the 9 if he feels he's got a problem making the combination, but evidently not. So now he's got to call which of these 2 balls he's playing. He's got to tell Skyler which one he's playing. Skyler needs to be attentive to that. And he has the right to ask him too, by the way, if he's not sure. Because I'm not sure what ball he's playing either. I think he's playing the 9. And I was wrong, but nevertheless, the point was he had to indicate which one in that case. Again, he came up short. And now the problem is he's going to have to go between the 10 and the pocket, which I believe he can do without a lot of difficulty. He might be able to draw it, but I think it'll follow between the 10 and the cushion. Man's got some recovery ability, doesn't he? Gets out of line, he doesn't stay out of line very long. And he is about to reach the mountaintop. And he is a mere 1 rack away from the championship. And Jeff's going to have at least 2 more opportunities to break for the match. Even if Skyler were to win here, win the next game on Jeff's break, and then win on his own break to go 6-6, Jeff will have 1 more shot in the case game, so he's going to have 2 bullets to take home the cheese. And I have a feeling Skyler's going to make him earn it. But the difference in this match really has been 2 things. Skyler missed an 8-ball that was really one he shouldn't have missed. And Jeff's been able to recover from all his position errors. See if he takes a little off. Now he gave it more. And he did make a couple of balls. And he's got a beautiful shot on the 1 to get going. But he's also got the 6-8 to deal with. And I'm not sure that the 5 is going to help him to deal with that, because it's too close to the cushion. Maybe he can figure out a way to open those off the 4 and use the 5 as his insurance ball. That was the danger. That was the danger going into it that way. You couldn't go into it hard enough to get separation because the 5 was too close to the rail. Now he's got to be careful he doesn't follow this in if he makes it. Well, you know, when stuff like this happens, it's really more of the fact that it just wasn't your turn to win. A couple of days ago, all those things would have gone well for him. seems like the pool gods knew that Jeff Ignacio was the man for this title, and he's a mere 5 balls away from it. Something's going to have to go dramatically wrong for him not to be the champion here in the next 3 minutes. Sorry. You going to do this? We have a champion, ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Ignacio, the 2015 U.S. Bar Table 10-ball champion, and he is going to receive his trophy right now from CSI General Manager Ozzie Reynolds, and we'll keep the cameras on for that, so we can enjoy the presentation while we get some pictures taken. We want to congratulate Skyler Woodward as well. It just wasn't his turn, but he certainly performed admirably the whole week, and there's still a lot more to go, and he's got himself the top Mosconi Cup points available for this particular division. So we'll see what we got coming up for you at 7. Not really sure who or what. It'll be 9-ball. And as soon as we know, we'll be back with you. In the meantime, enjoy the presentations, everybody. And congratulations again, Jeff Ignacio, 10-ball champion 2015.